Hey everybody, it's me, Edward Jones, back with a new video. Back from the gun show. Today is March 17th, 2024. I actually went to the show on Saturday as well as today, which I'm recording on Sunday. I went the day before because I was going to really just kind of walk around. The show was at the fairgrounds. It was funny is actually, so they actually did, I don't know if I mentioned this in a previous video, but there was actually a commercial done for the South Carolina State, I think South Carolina Arms Collectors Association, which I'm a member of, and they did a commercial. And I'd say, and I was actually did an interview where I did sign a waiver, and apparently I've had a few people, one from church, one person from church, one person from work, mentioned that they saw me on TV. They said they saw me on the commercial, and another friend of mine on Facebook, I guess he did a screenshot of maybe it was on the website for the South Carolina Arms Collector Association. But I guess I guess he got a screenshot of me on video and posted it on Facebook. It was pretty funny. But I was at the show. It was the mega show where they had the standard that standard indoor show, and there was also an extension added to it. So they had basically two buildings. They did it once before last year, but this year it was actually much. It was a lot more vendors in the second half of the building, in the second building, I should say. And I walked around, ran to a friend of mine who ran to my friend of mine on Saturday, who shout out to Scott. He recently bought a Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0, and I told him I was actually surprisingly, I was actually looking for a dagger. So yeah, I said a lot of good things about the PSA dagger. I had a chance to shoot one at the range a few weeks ago. I really liked it, and I decided I wanted to find a lighter, or I guess I wanted to find a 9mm pistol that was comfortable with using on a day-to-day basis. Well, carrying it day-to-day, I should say. And the dagger seems to be what fits the bill. And he actually said he had a couple of them. He bought a couple of himself. He said that he later sent me text. Later sent me a text of the different types that he had. He said he would bring it to the show on Sunday, which is today, for me to go check them out and to pick out what I wanted. We talked about how much I would spend on whether it be a frame, whether it be the frame or a whole pistol. We discussed all that stuff later on. But today I went ahead and bought a lower, bought a PSA lower, and this is the now I had to think long and hard about which lower I wanted to get because most of the ones he had were compact, and I like full size pistols. But I will say a benefit of the compact is that it can take full size magazines. So let's say you had like a Glock 9. So this is kind of like the pattern after the Glock 19. And let's say you want to, it's just typically meant for 15 round magazines. Well, you can also put 17 round magazines that you would normally put inside a Glock 17 and a Glock 19. And I actually like that. I like having that versatility. And the grip isn't too far off. You can see I still have some room for my pinky to rest on. On the full size, it's a lot more. This is probably maybe an inch, maybe a half inch longer. So I can get a much fuller grip on the pistol. But this isn't too bad. I have fairly big hands, but I'm able to grip the gun fairly well. And if I got magazines that were 17 rounders, I would still have enough to where it would fit on the pistol without having any not having any room where I can't grip the gun properly. And I believe the one I did shoot a few weeks back was a compact. So I have some experience with it. The dagger is very comfortable to shoot. This one is in sniper green. The idea I have is I want to get the lower in sniper green and get a slide that's all black. I'm not sure if I want to get like lightning cuts put into the slide or get a solid metal slide. But I think for you know for what it is, actually it's a very comfortable pistol, more comfortable than a Glock. I will say that. Um, I gave him $60 for this. Since we know each other very well, I guess I could have suggested something lower. They're actually on sale, I believe, for around $50. But I figured, what, he's helped me out as a friend. I'll give him a little more on top. 10 extra bucks, no problem. So I got this for $60. It's very comfortable. And hopefully I'll do a video where I can show it with the slide and with the magazines I decide to use. So $60. Now, one guy came across at the show. He had an AR. He had an AR upper for sale. but the upper he had Magpul furniture. The furniture was in foliage green. Now the reason why I'm saying that is because my first AR-15, which I got in 2012, had foliage green furniture. The only difference is the lower had foliage green, but the upper was it was a Stag Arms upper, complete flat top, and it had a standard AR-15 furniture, a standard handguard. When I later switched it out for a carbine length upper, I did get like the year after that, I was able to get a carbine length handguard in foliage green. Well, some years later, Magpul stopped making their furniture in foliage green, and when I had then later gotten got an AR upper in that had a mid length, and it was one of the PSA's premium uppers. It was all black. Well, I wanted to switch it over to my carbine length rifle, but the furniture wouldn't match. Fast forward to the show I went to on Saturday. Guy had his upper with foliage green furniture. And so what I did was I asked him, would he be willing to swap out the furniture on that upper for the black furniture I have on my upper, on my Midland. And he didn't really understand what I was saying at first, but he later figured it out, and he said, well, if you can take it off, and he's never taken the handguard off of an AR-15. I've done it plenty of times. I did it without any tools. It took me a few minutes, to hold the delta ring back, but I was able to get the furniture off. He did express that he was hoping to make a sale. So what I did was we made a switch. I gave him the black mid-lift handguard for this foliage green mid-lift handguard, and I will put on one of my ARs. And what I did was I ended up buying it. I said, well, you helped me out with this. You're willing to do the trade. Let me see if anything else that I could buy. He had several lowers. He had AR-15 lowers, AR-10 lowers. He had M1 carbine lowers, or he had M1 carbine. He had M1 carbine uppers, M1 carbine fire control groups, different parts, grease, cleaning kits, things like that. He had slings. One of the slings he had were these M1 Garand slings, and I like putting these slings on my shotguns. They're very comfortable. These are 1.25 width slings. They're quite adjustable. I said, you know what? I'll buy one of these slings for you. I said I can dye this. I can dye this black. I kind of like the darker colors on my slings. And it's priced at $35. He gave it to me for $30, so he gave me a $5 discount. I was pretty grateful for that. So I got this for $30. And I also got some. Now this was a little more. This is a little more interesting. So I got some Ogden little gun, and some Speer 38 caliber 158 grain round lead nose bullets. I got these on a trade. A friend I mentioned. So I mentioned a while back that I had gotten like 3 pounds of Alliant unique powder from a friend who gave me his deceased uncle's reloading gear. Well, one of the things he gave me a lot. It was a lot of bullets. There was a few dies, some casting equipment. But some of the bullets that were in the box he gave me, 45 ACP, 38/357 Magnum, and lots of 30 caliber bullets. Most of it were bid for 30-40 Krag, 30-06, 308. And some 30 carbine bullets. Well, since I don't have anything in 30 caliber, I gathered all the bullets. I try to keep accurate count of. I kept accurate count of most of the bullets that were in there. I had everything organized. And I took it over to Red Eye Reloading. Shout out to Nick. He decided to basically do a trade. He checked out all the stuff I was giving him. Said he noted a lot of it was really old bullets from old military, usually for military rifles. And he decided to make a trade, so I got the powder and these bullets, in trade. I thought it was pretty cool. I think this came out to be about $60, something like that. And I was very grateful. That's how the time of the show went. Also, a friend of mine who gave me the reloading equipment. He also later that on Saturday he gave me a magazine. He forgot to give me this earlier, but he gave me a magazine for, I want to say it's a Remington, not a, I mean, not a Remington, I think a Remington 748, 30-06. I think it's either a semi-auto rifle or a pump action rifle. He just gave it to me. He didn't need it anymore. So he figured maybe I could do something with it. Well, I don't have that rifle, so when I walk around the show, one of the guys at the show who has a booth, he recognized me. He asked me, "Where's your cowboy hat?" Which yesterday I wore this hat, so now I'm keeping it simple right now. I wore my regular camo ball cap. He had in the case. He had that same magazine that he had for one of his rifles in the case, and I lined the magazine I had up in there, so it was the same magazine. I said, "Well, I don't need it anymore. Do you would you want to buy it for me?" And he said, he gave me $10 for it. So, so that was pretty cool. So I got $10 for that magazine. So now he got two that he can give with that rifle. So basically yesterday I, not including the parking, which was $5. I made $5 yesterday, and then going back today, spent another $5 for parking, and the only money I spent was the 60. Was the 60 for the lower, and the 30 for the sling. So all in all, so around 90. So I spent like $95. So not a bad day. Also, something interesting happened when my wife and I were pulling into the gun show. This guy was actually running out, and it turns out someone, like 4 guys have stolen on Saturday. So 4 guys at the show stolen they stolen some, I think it was 4 guns from a vendor. They were caught on camera. They decided to go back again today on Sunday to steal some more. Well, they got caught. One of them actually ran out from the fairgrounds out to some other neighborhood. His buddy behind him got caught. So we watched that go down. As we went inside the show, the cops were surrounding some other young kid who actually I recognized his face from the show yesterday. It was wild. I mean, I just caught a glance of him at the show yesterday, but I recognized him today when he was being detained. And he got into some type of scuffle. It caused a big commotion at the entrance of the show. A lot of people started to watch and what was going on. They got control. He was a young kid. He could have been maybe 18 or 19. So they got control. The cops got control of the kid. Someone in the crowd was saying either beat his ass or kick his ass, something like that. But it was a very interesting show. That was the first time I've ever seen anything like that at a gun show. I never really even hear of people stealing stuff from gun shows. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but that's the first time I've ever heard of it or even witnessed the aftermath of it. So it was a very interesting show, I must say. But hey, tell me what you guys think. What you guys think of the stuff that I got from the lower, the sling, trade I did on the furniture, and powder and bullets? What do you guys think of the haul I got? Think I could have got a better deal on the lower or the sling or what have you. Did you guys have a gun show in your area? Tell me what you guys did. You pick up anything? Did you trade anything? Sell anything? Please share your thoughts. Leave a comment in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe. If you want to help out with the channel, go to my homepage on YouTube. Look for the PayPal link and the Cash App link. All donation amounts are appreciated. If you got any gripes, complaints about this video, send me a PM. I'll see if I can address them. That's my videos. Back from the gun show for March. One more thing. I did get a high-vis yellow individual potassium dispensing unit, but I ate it when I got home on Saturday. So that's why I don't have it here to show you guys. But I did in fact get one. I kept up with the tradition. But back from the gun show for March 16th and 17th, 2024. I'm Edward Jones. You guys take care. Be safe. Stay strapped. And God bless.